And his allies, they wanted state Republicans to redraw state congressional maps mid-decade. Will there be consequences for the state of Indiana for this major Trump rebuke?
This is CNN Breaking News.
Welcome to The Lead. I'm Jake Tapper, and we are following this breaking news moments ago. Indiana State Senate Republicans rejected President Trump's intense push to enact a new congressional map ahead of 2026. The 31-19 vote saw 21 Republicans joining 10 Democrats to vote down this new congressional map that would have favored Republicans in all 9 congressional districts and eliminated its 2 currently held by Democrats seats. The vote holds massive implications for the 2026 midterms for Republicans as President Trump threatens serious consequences for those who voted against his wishes and even against the state of Indiana. I want to bring in CNN's Jeff Zeleny and Kristen Holmes. And Jeff, first to you, we knew there were Republicans reluctant to redrawing these congressional maps mid-decade, but did anyone really expect a vote total like this, or a resounding rejection against President Trump?
Jake, they did not. Certainly the White House and the president's allies did not. Even Indiana Republicans are somewhat surprised by the margin. But again, 21 Republicans voting with Democrats to reject this push by the White House. This, without question, as we near the end of the year here, is the biggest rebuke that President Trump has taken, politically speaking, in ruby red Indiana. Of course, he's still popular there. There's no question if he ran again, he would win there. But this is a sign that all Republicans are not going to follow lockstep what he does. And Jake, I was watching the debate this afternoon. It was about 3 hours of debate. And it was extraordinary, actually, for all the national implications of this. This was actually very much a local debate. And what the White House was asking Indiana to do was redraw these districts that were effectively going to take away representation from some parts of the state and lump them into larger districts. There were concerns from rural senators, from some urban senators as well, specific concerns about the economy in northern Indiana. Would they be represented? So at the end of the day, when you watch this debate, it was much more about local issues. But of course, President Trump was trying to make the case that he needed these 2 seats. Of course, this is part of this extraordinary state by state by state redistricting plan that the president himself engineered several months ago to try and keep control of the House next year. Now, not having these 2 seats makes it more difficult. But the bottom line, a huge political rebuke for President Trump. We'll see if there's any fallout from it. I mean, he threatened primaries against some of these Republicans who voted no. It's a lot of Republicans who voted no. So if that is going to happen, he'll have to find a lot of primary candidates out there. Obviously, Indiana Republicans are not too scared by his threats.
And there's also been talk, Kristen, by some of the president's allies of President Trump withholding federal funding from the state of Indiana. That's just part of this long pressure campaign by Trump and his allies against Indiana Republicans to draw these congressional maps. Have we had any immediate reaction from the White House to this stunning rebuke?
Jake, we have not had any immediate reaction yet. Of course, we've reached out. We're waiting to hear. But there is no doubt that President Trump is going to be exceedingly angry by this result. I want to just pull up one of the things he said last night. This is one of many posts that he made targeting these Indiana lawmakers. He said, anybody that votes against redistricting and the success of the Republican Party in D.C. will be, I am sure, met with a MAGA primary in the spring. But as Jeff said, that's 21 people. That was a huge margin. That's a lot of primarying that President Trump and the White House are going to have to do. And just to give you an example of how caught off guard they were by this huge margin, we saw online some of the president's allies who were part of this effort posting, singling out specific Indiana lawmakers, very much so saying that this is the person driving this is the person, or one of these 2 people are the people who are going to vote against this. Clearly, the fact that they were singling out these individuals shows that they didn't realize what a huge swath of lawmakers was not going to vote in favor of this redistricting. We've already heard from some of these allies who are lashing out at these lawmakers, but, I think Jeff said it best, which is that they don't seem to mind. I do think this is going to be quite the blow for President Trump.